right, there you have it, the latest in the week in entertainment, and I'm sure we're all caught up on all the juicy details. And of course, congratulations to Burner Boy for making Times Magazine's top 100 most influential people of 2024, and of course, Kayode Kasum's movie that has made a lot. I'm sure he's smiling to the bank right now. All right, and moving on, it's time for us to meet our very first guest. And like I mentioned earlier in the show, it's all about World Creativity and Innovation Day on this edition of Your Weekend. And I have with me Professor John Uket. He's an innovation and development expert. And I'm sure you're already wondering, what do we have this? What are we doing anatomy on your weekend? Well, he's the brains behind all this, and he's going to tell us more about his innovation. All right, Professor John Uket, you're welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Glad to be here. Happy
Okay.
viewers.
All right.
Yes.
So, like I mentioned earlier, you're going to tell us more about this.
Okay.
We're celebrating World Creativity and Innovation Day, and we are one of Nigeria's foremost innovators. At least, yeah, congratulations
Thank you.
on your awards and innovation. And please tell us more about your work and
All
what
right,
it's
thank
all
you.
about.
Thank you very much. As you're aware, creativity and innovation drives the world. We are in the knowledge economy, and those things are pedestal on creativity and innovation. So until we're able to appreciate the contributions of creativity and innovations, we won't develop as a people. So days like this tends to create awareness and more or less understanding within the spectrum of knowledge of how we should embrace innovation. Now, I found myself over the time to see how I could also contribute to creativity, to innovation. Like what you're seeing in 2020, when we had the pandemic, the head of civil service of the Federation issued a circular to public servants to come up with innovations. Basically, innovations that would tend to combat the pandemic. So, and I've just finished a course with London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. And in 2008, just about a year and some months, I just returned from China on a course on prevention, control, and management of infectious disease in developing countries
Right.
at the Southern Medical University in China. So, and when the course circular came up, I thought within myself, fine, this is an opportunity to bring out at least the best in me. So I thought of, what do we do? People were looking at the vaccines, people were looking at other methods like that. And I'd say, fine, let me do something creative. And that's when the issue of developing a COVID-19 knowledge hub came up.
Okay.
And I find out through the process of the Innovation Challenge. That was a maiden edition of the Head of Civil Service Innovation Challenge. And on the last, I passed through the stages, the first, second stage. I think it was a third stage. On that night, I had my baby born at the National Hospital.
Wow.
So I couldn't finish my submission
So you
to
had
go into
so
the
much.
final. So I had so much on me. So, but then what I did was I picked up from that point. I needed to go beyond just having it as more or less a concept into developing the tangibles so that people could appreciate this creativity. And that's how you have today anatomical models, first of its kind anywhere in the world, showing the infection of COVID-19 in the human body. Now, starting from the COVID-19 pathogen, as you can see it there, yes, you can see it there, and then you have the spikes. Now, as you're aware, because of the nature of the COVID-19 was very novel and dynamic. So, and one of the things that could help build competence within medical personnel was if they could have an anatomical model that could serve as a cadaver for the virus. So, and that is where my innovation started.
Okay.
How to see how I could give them a cadaveric material, so of the pathogen. And so we have that. You can see the spike, and then you can see how the virus look like. And this could be used for public awareness as well, for research and other purpose. And then the virus, once you have the virus, from my own innovation, where I'm looking at the pathogenesis of the process, I now have this a male torso, respiratory system. So what you see in there, you see that it shows the infection of the COVID-19 in the respiratory system, and from there we have the alveoli there, which is the third
That's
product
this
of
one.
the innovation. No,
The other
the
one.
pair, yes.
Okay.
That's the pair of the alveoli. So it shows also how the COVID-19 virus affect the alveoli. And then we have the last stage where you see a dissected alveolus, which shows at this point the patient is believed to be at needs a ventilator to breathe.
Mm.
So, but the question is, without these models, how people appreciate the the science behind the virus?
Mm.
How will people be able to, get to be aware that, okay, fine, I'm infected, but this is a stage I'm in. So my innovation, because at a point I have to go into collaboration with a guy that also knows how to do models for us to come up with this. So what you see is a product of partnership. I work
Okay.
with Samson Awua for us to develop this into full product. So now, with this now, we've been able to create awareness, and most importantly, these models can be used for vaccine prediction.
Okay.
Yes, and also vaccine acceptance. Because if people know, okay, this is the stage I'm in, they'll be able to know when to have their doses and that. And also, this could help simulate the simulate the processes of the infection in the human body. So
Okay.
that would tend to build confidence from of the public in the medical institution, because there were a lot of conspiracies around the COVID-19,
Yeah.
and that.
That's
And
so
most
much.
importantly, maybe let me just say this lastly. Most importantly, our product, our innovation helped to promote non-pharmaceutical interventions,
Right.
because what people were after was the pharmaceuticals,
Mm.
like that. But then there are basic ways which could be used to manage any pandemic anywhere in the world, and
Mm.
most resort you have is your non-pharmaceutical interventions, which we are promoting.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. All right. Thank you so much for that elaborate description on your innovations. All right. So, from your perspective, why is it important for individuals to embrace their creativity and contribute their unique skills to creating positive change?
Interesting. You see, just like I said, ab initio, until you're able as a person. That's why this year on the 26th, WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, is having its day. You know, also just to foster awareness on creativity. Because that intellectual property basically deals with the intangible creation of the human mind.
Mm.
So ranging from trademarks, patent, geographical indications, patent plant varieties, and so on. So now we have a lot, and that's why when I looked at the global innovation index in the world, when about 132 countries or so were benchmarked,
Mm.
Nigeria was 109 with a score of about 18.2.
Mm.
And that we have a population that could be able to change the dynamics of any economy.
Mm.
But then, until we're able to harness the creativity, we're able to harness the innovation, we're able to pedestal the the aspect that will tend to align our economies, our needs, to that's when we'll be able to have that impact. For example, now, like the IPO this year, they are focusing on SDGs, IP and SDGs, building our common future through innovation and creativity. Now, looking at that. Now, for us to even achieve the SDGs, as it were, we must be able to leverage on creativity around. Creativity abounds. That's why I'm particularly grateful to the head of civil service of the Federation, because for the past 3 editions of the Head of Service Innovation Challenge, my innovation has won prizes at that. Like the last one I did, I designed the first ever civil service museum
Mm.
and policy gallery. I won a prize. So, and last year also, I won a prize. And then the other year, I did blockchain based e-procurement system, which will help government to cope, uh, leakages in governance and also help to curb the corruption around the public service procurement. So I won a prize in that. Now, what do that mean? If we, especially young persons, are able to come on board and discover that in their own setting, they could be able to drive processes with those ideas. And that's why it is imperative, as it is now, for government to create the enabling environment. Because no matter the idea a man has, without the corresponding environment, those ideas will become effort in futility. So, and also without the corresponding funding, which is key, because for over the years, for right from when I joined government, I've been involved managing technology. I've been involved coordinating innovations and inventions across the country. So I see creativity abound. I see people, but then nobody pays attention to it. As at the moment, I can say that we don't have a Nigerian innovation index that anybody in the world can leverage on. Why? Because we've refused as a people to look inward to see how we'll be able to like harness this creativity of these young persons, which is key to attaining or driving global goals, national goals, and subnational goals. So that is what is needed.
I wish we had more time. Because my director is already signaling to me that we are out of time. But please, let me just ask this one question, but you have to be fast in your answer. All right. So, what advice would you give someone who wants to cultivate their creative abilities and make a meaningful difference in the world, but doesn't know where to start?
Well, thank you. I think as just this week, WIPO appointed me as a global change maker for the 2024 WIPO IP Day celebration. Now, I want to say everyone walking on the face of the earth has something to change. What you do, identify the right person to talk to, the right platform to belong to, and also get the necessary support. And I tell you, giving time again and again, as much as you don't quit, you win. So everyone that is willing to change the world, just do this and follow the steps. And I tell you, you become a bigger thing in the future.
All right. Thank you so much, Professor John Iketz, for coming on the show, and I wish you all the best in your endeavors.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
All
It's my
right.
pleasure being here.
All right. And moving on your weekend, next up is a feature on creativity and innovation in Nigeria. Enjoy.